Yes, I did get around to doing the stuff I said I was going to do during the day today, so we actually have a full set of stream music, as I'm calling it, for what it is that we're going to be doing here. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, and 7th impressions of ESO Deadlands. I think I might need some professional help, whatever. So yes, 7th impressions of ESO Deadlands. I'm not giving up on the Zen Archer thing. Right after I finished stream last go around, I got another idea. So time to sink gold, I should say, in-game gold. Time to sink more gold into this thing that I swear these ESO devs had to have thought of making this into a gold sink. Seriously. Yeah. So, all right. So here's the idea. The idea of the Zen Archer, let's load up Winamp 2, get the music going for the new, there we go, sorry, so the way it works with the new music thingy here is that the new music thing has stuff that I would use in YouTube videos, but not everything, because some of the stuff I have is for more chill YouTube videos, like, say, still lifes of flowers and nature videos and stuff. Now, as soon as I could get a decent frame rate, please tell me there isn't Windows updates downloading behind my back. What do we have? We'll keep an eye on that down in the corner. All right, let's do this. So, if my castle can stop stuttering so much, here's what's going on with the Zen Archer thing. We found out the hard way last go round that if you use 2 different sets of resources, that you lose a substantial amount of damage. However, there is one skill that Templars have that completely changes this whole thing. Solar Barrage. This is the alternative to Dark Flare, so I'd want this on a Zen Archer build, not the Cleric build where you're actually casting spells for damage. Conjure solar energy to blast enemies around you for 2118, etc. every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, but you have Empower for 10 seconds as well, which gives you a 40% damage increase to your light and heavy attacks. So, let's test it on the Ogre here. Grab a food buff. Well, now we have to drop combat. Can't even get that right, huh? Back it out. Oh, this is a nice screenshot waiting to happen. Picasa. Get ourselves a little ahead on the screenshotting for thumbnails and stuff like that. Now watch it rain the minute I do this. Wouldn't be an ESO stream without it. Keep it minimized. I'm sure there'll be more. Okay, so let's see here. Start this out with get a food buff going. Still trying to use up all those pastries. Then we can move on to the sugar skulls. All right, so there's a bit of a damage difference, even though I'm using a stamina weapon blatantly set up for Magicka. 3 grand. Probably crits around like 6 grand. Or 5 grand, excuse me. Now turn this on. Whoops, that's a heal. So it doubles the damage, and 7 grand for this. But the thing is, these target dummies have the toughness of a high level boss. So let's see. So plenty of magic to heal people with, and what this constitutes essentially is very Magicka efficient damage, because you can just do your light and heavy attacks and have your enchants fire and everything. So it's not as noticeable here because this Ogrum, this target guy, is basically as tough as a high-end boss. But on regular trash mobs, you've seen the crits hit like 10 grand on a guy that's not even spec'd for Magicka. So what if we decided to take Lauren Lockhart, grab all the money again, respec her back to bow, emphasize Magicka, and use Solar Barrage? Because the point of the bow attacks are going to be crowd control and token damage in between heals. What's this? Oh, this is covered by Patrick Patricios. This I would use as an opening theme.
Can I help
Very
you?
high energy. Hey, do you want to sell it? Anything left over? Nah, I actually threw everything in the bank like I was supposed to. The potions, though, we can throw them in the bank.
Hello there.
I have to do something about all of these crown potions. Literally, all my characters can go around using them, and I probably would have problems running out of them. I also have crowd fortifying meals. pumpkin skewers. Give me those. We're just going to vendor those things. Those things are pretty much done at this point. All right, crown potions. I know I picked some up because of the daily rewards. Throw those in the bank. Now I have even more crown potions. I should just grab all of those crown potions and just blow through them all. Let's see. Just modify a few things here with the OBS setup as well as some other stuff. I want to make the window for live control room bigger and then just drag it off the side of the screen. Let's see. Oh, it was snapped. That's why. Keep an eye on some of the numbers. So when everyone goes to sleep, I can just end stream and then that's that. Yeah, those were fun when I first made them. Drinks at the ready. Those were fun when I first made them because they scaled with your level. Now I have the sugar skulls, and I do enough crafting dailies on all my characters that I never have any problems with that. All right, how much money do we have in the bank? Because once again, she's going to go on a shopping spree. 150 grand. Woohoo! All right, Daedric Bench, he already knows it. Is there any recipes in here that he doesn't know? I don't think there is. This sounds like, you know what this song sounds like? This sounds like this sounds like the sort of thing that S-Fan would start a stream with over on Twitch. He tends to like the high energy stuff that you hear like when you're working out in a gym and stuff. Something with a 4 on the floor. And everybody does like the blob dance and dance emotes, stuff like that. You know, Better TTV works on YouTube. We just got to get that up and... Actually, no, it is up and running. Better TTV was actually added for YouTube. So... there's YouTube support available for Better TTV now, so we can have some fun with that. I'll have to log into my account from Twitch and see what I can do with all that. All right, switch characters. Let's have some fun here. Wait. Go through the mails. More smithy and other such materials that we just mash through. All right, let the fun begin. All right, so we went to all the trouble to set up a tank spec for Lauren, and now we're going to just wipe all of that out. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I need a drink. Drink responsibly, people. It also helps your beverage last longer when you're talking all the time like this. All right. We went to all the trouble to set up... It's going to be like 10 grand to blank the skills and everything. To redo the skills and everything. It's... We got to redo everything. That's going to be at least 20,000 gold. 10 grand for skills, 3 grand for constellations. Attributes are another 3 grand. We're definitely approaching 20,000 grand every time we do one of these things. That's why we're going to do the crafting dailies twice. Well, let's do that. We'll spec her. We'll set her to cleric first. Since we're basically, we'll do all the changes in town. Set to cleric. We'll do everything else in Leowin. See. Nice. Let's see here. What's this? What's this? Oh, this is Lunar Door. This is a synthwave song from Stream Beats. Yeah, I've got a couple of genres loaded for Stream Beats. I have synthwave, chiptune, and hi-fi, and then on the YTAL side, I have a lot of my favorite YTAL songs from over the years. So you're gonna see a mix of everything. You're gonna be hearing a mix of everything on here. Let's log it out. And if anybody happens, well, this is sounding like it's overpowering a little. Stream Beats is better with normalizing the volume. Wait, what? What did I just log out for? I meant to teleport. Long night. What am I doing, man? Maybe I should just give up on this Zen Archer thing, but it just sounds so cool. Zen Archer. For those of you coming over from the Twitch ecosystem, subbing on YouTube is free. I have chat and sub only mode as an anti-spam thing, because YouTube has its spam bot problems too, like the I love you spammers and things like that. So, in case there's people coming over from the Twitch side of things. I do know there's some multi-streamers that are streaming PvP, so... See here. The thing is, though, streaming for a YouTuber like myself is a secondary thing. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be the main focus, but it's, in my case with gaming, it's really the main focus for the gaming side of things. Although I do want to make some videos for tutorials and stuff like that. We'll flip between videos and streams on here quite frequently because it's a little of everything going on here. All right. Pilgrim's Rest. Let's get this done. Time to stop putting off the ugly, ugly thing that's coming. Blowing tens of thousands of gold once again. This is not going to be fun. All right, let's do this. Do the crafting dailies twice because the 2 o'clock reset is coming up, so that way we'll be able to get double the rewards. Let's just go get that done before we do the dreaded deed of blowing all that money again. Let's do this here. Another reason why I want to do YTAL on here is to get a bigger genre of music in here. See a couple of folks on Twitch that have like, you know, like NCS and stuff. YTAL is a whole bunch of genres these days. It makes me wonder if the YouTube folks are trying to compete with Epidemic Sound. Or Pretzel's actually got some good stuff too nowadays. Matter of fact, I should reinstall the Pretzel player and have a listen. See if I want to get that stuff involved too.
My time in the...
Oh, there's a repair bill left over from last time. Still carrying around that Hagraven cauldron. Put that in the bank. Ugh. Greetings, whatever. We're gonna need all the money anyways. 150,000 gold withdrawn, whatever. All right, let's see here. Got all the hulking Draugr stuff. Another thing I want to do with the Zen Archer too is gear that is set up for both specs. So what we'll do, or for both resources. So what we'll do is we'll get some medium armor for Twiceborn Star, and then Shackle Breaker, and then get 2 Mundus boons, and then see how high we can crank Stamina and Magicka. We got into the 30s last go-round. Then we'll see what kind of results we get versus Cleric, which is all Magicka. See what kind of a gap there is and whether it's worth it to try setting something like that up. All right, Ritz, get this over with. 2, 3. We're gonna need the money. This Armory thing has turned into such a money sink that I should probably just stop streaming and just do Ritz every single day on 18 characters and come back when I have 500,000 gold. Let's see. Make some wine. Some newer, I think there's some newer Stream Beats synthwave in the mix here. That's why it sounds so different. One of the problems I think Harris Heller's folks had with some of the earlier Stream Beat synthwave was too much of it sounded too similar. If you listen to the first couple of album releases, you'll catch that. It all seemed to be kind of, sort of trying a little too hard to sound 80s. Now, let's see. If I stop running into benches here. Solution of Magicka. That would be this and this. Does she have any points in crafting multiple potions and poisons yet? If not, we should definitely do that. Let's see here. What do you mean streaming is a secondary thing? YouTube is about a little of everything. Oh, I see how it goes. Did that guy who's always blocking people at the... So the thief pickpockets him, then he runs after him, and it's a way to get him away from all of that. And then they just outrun the guards. And then their buddy just puts all their Rit stuff in there. Let's see. All right, so there's this.
The guild has need of you, comrade.
Surveys, too, so we can go out and get some of that stuff. It's also a clothing survey. Now that's what I call a werewolf. What was that, like a... What was that all about? So why go to all the trouble of a super dramatic transformation like that? Is this some kind of emote or something? Let's see here. Ruby Ash Inferno. So decon all the stuff that can be decon. She can refine stuff too. Not that stuff. I have been dumb enough to accidentally decon something you're supposed to vendor. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We didn't get anything else that's vendorable. Okay. Smithy Station. I gotta go through and curate some of that Stream Beats music too, because this is a copy of the folder. It's actually a copy of the folder, so if I delete stuff, it's not that bad. Clothing station. Rubidoux. And this. Let's do this. Alright, everything's deconned. Everything. We've done everything except the surveys. Okay, the dreaded moment is here.
There's an urgent task for you.
Let's blank everything out and make sure to hit save build after we blow all this money on a respec. Ugh. Off to the chapel. It's time for that dreaded thing that we've been dreading all this time. Now we'll try Zen Archer one more time with this stuff. Take it for a spin in the Deadlands, since people farm the world bosses and everything. Go do dailies out there and... So, first order of business. We have 150 gold, so let's just blow some money on this stuff.
People say variety is the spice of life.
What's the humidity down to?
That's true.
46%.
It sure makes killing folks a whole lot easier.
Alright. Battle Priest. First, let's equip. Then set the name back to Zen Archer and put a bow and arrow on it. Alright, where's this? Set the name back to Zen Archer. Now let's blank everything out and save it over. Akatosh. Attributes. Attributes have been reset. We're not gonna put any specs in. We're not going to spec anything for attributes just yet. Matter of fact, we're gonna save that for last. Skills. Clear everything. All skill lines. Confirm. 10,000. Everything blanked out. And lastly, redistribute, confirm, clear, commit points, commit no points at all. So we are 100% unspec'd and have no skills or anything. No, I don't want to get married to the Armory orc.
I've been at this. Hold on.
Save Zen Archer. Everything is blank except for the armor. All right. Do we still have any? We still have the line in here for Zen Archer? No, we never even had that in there. Just straight up tank stuff now. So she now has no skills whatsoever. She has no skills, no attributes, nothing. To the castle. We're going to go make the gear, have her put everything on, and then set everything up. Let's see here. Set everything up and see what we can do with all that. So, she is 100% unspec'd, and we need to have her somewhere where she can retrieve stuff easily from the bank. And we'll, so we're gonna put an emphasis on medium armor. I think we did this before. We're only gonna make purples though. We don't want to make any legendaries. We have plenty of stuff I think to make purples with. Otherwise, we'll spend even more money on getting some more refining materials. She also has a clothing survey. So actually, since we're going out into the world, let's have Goodmane do the surveys for her. So let's put the survey Alchemist in Vardenfell, clothing in Deshan. She's not carrying anything else except a whole bunch of money. So we'll leave her in the castle for now. Let's go make the gear. We're going to decide the attributes last. So let's see. We're going to decide the attributes last. Something else I'm thinking of doing as well for these characters is making YouTube videos of like montages of kind of who they are. You show some battle clips and stuff like that. Wear some tank gear so it can look super dramatic without the character dying in combat if we record a certain way. I just got to figure out what to do about the phantom syllables that Corel has when you mix a bunch of MP4s together. Something about MP4, I think I'm going to use OBS to record the footage. I have an OBS recording thing on my regular logon that isn't used for streaming, so the quality is maximized for recording videos. I should have more than enough CPU to pull that off. So here's the idea. We do basically what we did last time. Actually, let's go to plan C before we go. Let's go to plan C and have her equip that cleric build and just grab a bow. She has a set of medium armor, so we'll put that on. Let's try out my first idea for a Zen Archer, which is Magicka. We would just have to go pay some, like a few hundred to change the morph. We can always just respec back to cleric in order to get the old build back. I just want to see just what kind of numbers would we have with Zen Archer focusing on magic with a bow. So have her equip medium, go to, spec cleric, then set up medium armor, and go grab the Twilight's Embrace bow, which is plus Magicka, from the bank, and then young Logos' lullaby. Turn up the music. This actually used to be the outro music for a lot of Review Tech USA's videos a couple of years ago. I haven't watched this stuff on a regular basis in an extremely long time. All right, so here's medium armor. So here she is in medium armor. Let's grab this bow, Twilight's Embrace, this legendary Magicka bow with no enchantment on it. Let's see. Doesn't matter anyways because it doesn't really matter anyways because the enchants for weapons do like regen and stuff. There really is no DPS enchant. There's a DPS trait. Truly superb glyph of Magicka. Just happen to have one sitting around. Handy that. Because this bow is not enchanted and it's legendary. So let's throw. Oh, that's an armor enchant. That's why. It has to be a truly superb glyph of absorb Magicka. Well, as a cleric, she should be able to make a legendary enchant for this thing. Huh? Wait a minute. We didn't equip it yet. Gasharog. Oh, yeah, we have to actually run up to him because we're in the castle. Set this up.
Headed for some rugged.
But we have a blank build there for Zen Archer, so let's switch back to cleric. Alright, so we switch back to cleric. What we'll do is we'll get the build exactly the way we want it. And let's see here. Enchantments. First, let's equip the bow. Let's actually make a Zen Archer build here. She's in medium armor, right? No, she's in light armor. Switch off to medium armor and equip the bow. And there. So bow and resto staff. What's the trait on the bow? Sharpened. Exactly as it should be. So let's go into here. Alpha. We don't have anything for the insert currently equipped. Let's see. Build 6. Zen Archer. Just put the equipment on it first. We'll add skills later. Because we're gonna need to do our own skill lines for that. Zen Archer. Alright, let's see how this works. Alright, so we just have to go just short of point. Just put it in here. RKVC. Does this have lyrics? Set off to Leowin and pay for a morph change. Set off to Leowin and let's pay for a morph change. So switch over to Solar Barrage. More money we're going to spend on this. Let's see here. See what we have here. Nerd it up. What the? Someone played too many night elves in WoW. Let's see. This is ESO now. What the? Hey, this is ESO now, so you've entered the Elder Scrolls universe. Alright, let's try this out. We need to change Dark Flare to Solar Barrage. And then it's already the number 4 skill, so we can test it that way. So you go in, you do the other stuff, still have some magic to throw around. Maybe swap in some bow skills. The idea is to have very magicka efficient damage. So let's pay 400 to swap that morph over and see how it goes. Change off Dark Flare to Solar Barrage. So now she has this. Whoops. So now she has Solar Barrage. So what does that do for damage? Then of course we'll equip some. It's not going to affect any bow attacks or anything. So what we do is we equip some heals, then set up some skills for. Let's set up some heals, and let's set up some other stuff. You have dark elves. That guy who had purple glowing eyes. That's not a dark elf. That's a night elf. He's going for here. Dark elves don't look like that.
You there. The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
There's an urgent task for you.
These cosplayer type folks making WoW characters look like something else. What a fun. Then again, you can play a Dragon Knight with all fire skills and dress a character like Super Mario or something. Make a Mario character. And I can't really make fun of that stuff because I have a character that's like Link from Zelda. Alright, so let's go try it out on the Ogrim first. See what kind of numbers we get. So this is plus Magicka, so she retains her spell abilities for lots of extra healing, buffs, the whole 9 yards. Or we can swap in some bow skills to use stamina for things like crowd control and stuff like that. We know the Bombard skill has Immobilize. We know the Bombard skill can be used to immobilize, and there's also Scatter Shot. See here. I don't know, there's this whole World of Warcraft diaspora going on pretty much, or diaspora, or whatever you want to say it. Folks are coming over from WoW because they're mad at the game, and then they gotta realize they've changed pretty much universes here. I don't know. It's like people taking the drama over to Final Fantasy or something. 16 grand, so with a bow, what are we looking at? 26, a wimpy 2600 doubles, right? Yeah, so like 3 to 6 grand, 7 grand. So this is actually. So I mean. We basically just do this, but we know that guy's extra tough because he has the armor of a dungeon boss. So let's go see what kind of damage we can get on regular mobs. 5,000 DPS. Let's see. Hard to believe Jason Farnham did a 4 on the floor thing like this. Wow, to XMMO. You'd think they'd all would just go to Final Fantasy with all the bragging and stuff. Alright, let's get Miria Lendis. Actually, no. Bastion. Well, Bastion's not set up for tank. Could give him a sword and board. Just want to see what kind of crits we can get on regular mobs.
Alright, the next time you're helping me with something.
Well, you know there's always this thing over here. Yeah, see, so 4s. Yeah, 8,500. That's not that bad.
Ooh, that was a bit of a warm-up.
8,500 was it? 8,500. That's not that bad. Yeah, see, this kind of is repetitive, though. Let's see.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
Yeah, so 8,500 and so 8,500, we've seen good main crit for like 10 grand or something, but I think some of that is because, for some reason, Solar Barrage benefits from a boost to spell power, even though it's boosting your attacks. So let's actually use the number 5 skill for the Mages Guild with 45,000 magic and see how much higher these numbers go. You know what? To make it easier to find targets, let's turn off the grass. Before we do the expensive experiment here. Let's turn off the grass. Ooh, platinum. Great. Now we're going to go on a giant mining spree or whatever. Yeah, let's turn off the platinum and let's see. Ah, lizard bear. Perfect target. Yeah, see, now we're hitting for 5 grand, and that's going to crit for like 10. So, a boost to your spell damage, a boost to your spell power actually helps this for some reason. Yeah, see that? Now we're hitting for 5 grand. Critting for almost 10 grand. So that's really what we're missing here. That's really what we're missing here. I wonder if a plus weapon damage buff would do the same thing. So she doesn't actually... The interesting thing, too, is that she doesn't have any points in... She doesn't actually have any points spec'd into bow just yet. So she has about 38 extra spell points, or skill points here. So with a bow equipped, we can get higher crit chance. Let's turn that on. And Hawkeye, we're not there yet. So increase your damage, your bow abilities, things along those lines. Let's see. Gives you a damage bonus of up to 6% against enemies at longer... That's with bow abilities, though. That's not with regular bow attacks. The only thing we benefit from with this kind of Zen Archer setup is accuracy. So you can get an extra 1,000 critical rating with the bow. Now she's hitting for 5,100. Depends on the armor. Critting for 9 grand. So yeah, you go into something like this, and I wonder if there's some kind of buff that we can cast, or throw down shards or something. So what we have here is magicka efficient damage. There's also a sorcerer skill that basically empowers your next attack. We could also mix this up with Psijic armor. Next light attack, da-da-da. So we can actually buff everything up. Let's take that. Reduces the cost. Let's take some Psijic stuff here. So do cost reduction, spell orbs, and concentrated barrier, imbue weapon, and let's set it to magicka, elemental weapon. For an extra, so it would be something like this.
I guess this is a fight now.
88,000. She's not critting though. That's part of the problem there.
You know, I like to think I'm agreeable.
So this is kind of the Psijic Order version. Those orbs, I think, when we get enough of them, they'll fly at a monster. So buff, buff. They got to rework this skill though, because you literally have to weave it. So the question I have is, in the time it takes for you to keep casting that, I think it's more worth it to just use this than put something else in spot 4. Or we can have that run off of stamina and just recover stamina for that. So this is something... I made a bunch of mobs, though. I think the only way I'm going to get that is to go to a public dungeon or attack a harder mob, like a troll. $8,000. Yeah, try and heal yourself. Not getting any crits whatsoever. 9272. So the thing is, I don't know if that really helps with the crit damage, though. Okay, so we know that's the thing. The thing with these on-next attack skills, in the time it takes to use these on-next attack skills, you pretty much could have shot 2 arrows while under the buff of the plus 40% damage. So, not so sure about that. As opposed to just doing this. So, get more shots off that hit for 5 grand instead of boosting to do like 8 grand and stuff. It'd be easier if, you know, this ability, of course, it refunds the cost if you don't get a shot off.
Beck, I hope you're watching.
This is more of the thing you'd use in PvP. Yeah, see, 9 grand, but 85.80.
Yeah. Thanks for
It's very
asking.
bursty. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm doing 8,000 damage. The problem is I'm doing 8,000 damage, and then I have to hope that I'm getting enough of these orbs that they don't disappear like that and they go flying at my enemy. Let's see, 8 grand.
Never used to fight this much.
Is there enough time to put a heavy attack on that? So come down here and do like a giant damage spike? I don't think there's enough time. 17,000.
They're coming for us.
Boom. See, I just did 7 grand. Maybe if you wanted like a damage spike or something like that, but I'd rather just get 8 grand off of a light attack. Let's go try the ogre before we go try this double spec thing again. 7626.
Is that the last of them?
All right.
Beck.
We need to see if it's just too complicated of a rotation. Maybe if people like playing rogues, where they're always hitting a bazillion buttons. The thing is, I'm experimenting with that on the sorcerer side of things, though. Let's go try the ogre again. See what this looks like. Oh, time for another food buff. And we can always just respec back to our old skills just by switching back to the cleric build. And then we can get to work on the other stuff. I think it's too contrived. Plus, Solar Barrage is supposed to be used by Stamplars. But before you go messing with Solar Barrage, we'll just pay a morph fee later. No, left. What's this? Patrick Patricios' New Day. This is what Ryan Wyatt used in the big announcement video about gifted memberships coming to YouTube Gaming. Let's see here. He also used some Slink music as well, and I've got that loaded up in this. All right. So, more of those pastries. Let's get all our stamina back. 6 grand on a heavy attack. 2 grand. So knowing that this guy has more armor, let's wait for combat to drop. Then we'll try everything. All right. 5, 4, 2. Yeah, so it's got different numbers attached to it. Can the other numbers crit? I don't think I'm getting enough of those orbs to have them fly at him. What even is this working? I mean, it is hitting for like 10 grand. It's just too contrived. Because in the time it takes for me to do that, I can just do this instead. Well, that's 3 grand, but we know that with lesser armored creatures, it'll hit 5 grand. It'll hit 5 grand easily. All right. What even is this skill supposed to do? Imbue your weapon with power, causing your next light attack. You got to use it with. It's light attacks only. It also adds burning, concussion, or chill elemental status effects, and it restores half the magic if you don't use it in time. Yeah, so I'm not really a fan of this skill anyways. So let's go switch back to cleric and get ready for the other attempt at the dual spec. Because this is just too contrived. Plus, as a healer, you can't be focusing on a super fancy rotation
Take it from
when other people could be taking damage. Switch back to cleric. All right. So, stay in the castle, and let's go make the armor, the hybrid armor. Then we'll decide what we want to do with the... So that's something we got to figure out. Because the ring enchants, we'll do all magic. So we want to see just what kind of token damage you can have without using any magicka. So the two, we'll do all medium armor. We're going to do all medium armor, Twiceborn Star, and Shackle Breaker, because Shackle Breaker has a big bonus of 2,000 magic and stamina when you max it out. So that's probably the biggest hybrid bonus in the game. So there will be a bias towards magicka because it's a Breton, but I'm just curious what kind of stamina capabilities you can get. And the thing is, the whole idea of the Zen Archer is that your archery does not affect the magicka that you have available if people suddenly need bunches of heals and stuff like that. So let's head on out. Grab, have Mirialendis come along for the ride again. Trying to level up Mirialendis first before Bastion. I don't know if you can up their experience by taking them to things like the Maelstrom Arena and stuff like that. But let's get Miri out here. And let's head off to Craglorn is where the Twiceborn Star stuff is.
All right, the next time you're helping me with something.
All right, we turn the grass back on. You don't need this game to look like Morrowind. Original Morrowind, not what you can do with it nowadays with the super mods, like Morrowind Rebirth. It's one of the reasons why I did the Silver Bullet project earlier. Play OG Morrowind on the 2005 system, and then any Morrowind I play on Steam will have at least the Morrowind Rebirth super mod. It'll be like two different games. Not Hrothgar, Craglorn. There is Atelier of the Twiceborn Star. Use a little health too. But the big one is two Mundus Stone builds. So we're gonna make everything into divines. I would play New World when it stops melting graphics cards. Kind of a dumb thing for Amazon to do in the middle of a graphics card shortage. I'm over here, talking about. So I'm over here and I'm talking about building a system off a Cezanne APU so that when the technology that's coming out gets more affordable, I'll upgrade to that a few years down the road. But I'll have a Windows 11 ready system running off of the best of this generation of stuff, catch it on a clearance sale, and stuff like that. Okay, let's make this stuff. All right. The suit of armor. All right, Twiceborn Star. We're going to do medium armor. So it has equal benefits to weapon and spell damage. Some of that Rubido ready? Nothing to decon? All right. C. Amazon, though. Amazon should have taken a closer look at the MMO world before they made New World. Otherwise, they'd see how dated their design is. I mean, they actually still use servers. We're not going to bother with that. All right. Jack of the Twiceborn Star. So, 9 traits. So this is going to be the main set. Let's see. Let's do Divines. Rubido leather. Helmet. Shoulder piece. We're only going to take these up to epics because it's an experimental build. We're not going to make legendaries of anything that isn't a sure thing. Might have already tried this before, too. So Champion 160, all with Divines, so we can crank up those 2 Mundus spoons. This is something I do on my tanks when I put them in DPS mode as well. Get them up to 33,000 resistance and put a bunch of stuff in DPS. Boots of the Twiceborn Star. Because I love being the remedy for the ongoing problem of squishy bank tanks. Making up words here. Squishy fake tanks that die in 2 hits in regular difficulty dungeon groups. Get some tank gear. You can use something like alpha gear to switch your gear around if you don't want to play with builds. Ugh. ESO and RuneScape's well, ESO's mega servers. Guild Wars 2 does something like that too, but they have other technical problems they got to figure out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So set number 2. We're not going to make any weapons because we're just going to use the bows that we have available. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right there, right there. Get that. So she jumps on her horse and I don't. No, no, no. More stuff. Nobody's farming Craglorn. All right, take that out. All the stuff with no artist name, by the way, is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. It's just the way I don't know why he doesn't have metadata on his files. He has them as wave sounds, not even MP3. He's got to use iTunes to convert them. Off to Morrowind. We're going to make the Shackle Breaker for set 2, which gives some recovery, damage, and 2,000 magic and stamina. Try this out here. I might just hybrid the whole build and just accept the chips where they fall, because I've healed with Bretons with only 32 in Magicka instead of 64. Look at that. It's like jumping a car or jumping a truck or something. Forza Horizon 5 is out too. The sad part is I have so much to do in Forza Horizon 4 that I have a Forza Horizon 4 backlog. It's pretty sad. Let's see, where are we? Let's head upstairs. All right, let's do this. Shackle Breaker. No, don't decon the stuff we just made. Shackle Breaker, medium armor, 160 and divines. Running out of Breton material here. Let's see. We want the bracers and belts. Let's make sure we upgrade everything. What are we at on materials? Yeah, we got 53 of. We can make epics out of all of this. Epic. Make some epics out of it. So full medium armor. So there will be bonuses to both weapon and spell damage. So Iceborne Star. We also have the option of swapping in Crafty Alfiq if we need more Magicka for healing. See here. Silent partner. Alright, we have that. We're gonna run low on materials here. Because it's 7 things. $5,000 gold. 3,009 actually. The lady of the manor has all the money. Sounds kind of like a euphemism for something that happens offline when she spends all your money. We're gonna kind of raid the whole bank account, and we're gonna pay for all these darn respecs. All right, Champion 160 will take him up to greens for Shackle Breaker. As a Zen Archer, she's primarily a healer, so we'll emphasize Magicka on the jewelry. She'll probably nerf the DPS, but we'll see how close we can come to the 40-something thousand magic that she usually has. Give her a huge stamina bar to do some damage with. So let's see. Cobalt Shackle Breaker rings. Let's do this. 2 rings. 2 rings and this thing. We'll probably end up and we'll bring them up to greens. 2, 4. We could theoretically make them blues, but it's too experimental. We'll upgrade them later. Okay. The problem with jewelry crafting is it came out with Morrowind. So ESO Morrowind, and it was made to be tougher than all the other trade skills. So it's routinely the one that advances the slowest and is the most tedious to upgrade your stuff. It's like, how many more expansions is Zenimax going to let that be the norm before they fix it? Because literally every other crafting skill in the game is a lot easier than jewelry crafting. All right, so we have all of this. For enchants, we're going to focus on Magicka and try and find a way to get stamina somewhere else. I think we're going to end up doing hybrid spec for her, and then she will have more Magicka because she's a Breton. But I want to see how much stamina that she gets from all the enchants, or from all the traits. All right, we're not making any weapons. She's just going to use the Magicka stuff she has in the bank already. Back to the castle. Then we'll go into the constellations and we'll spec hybrid there too. with an emphasis on magicka for resource regeneration, since she is primarily a healer. Zen Archer is not really supposed to be DPS, but it's supposed to have enough DPS with the stamina side, the lesser resource, in order to not be totally too far behind the regular DPS. People that have like super awesome proc sets like Dark Convergence and stuff, you know, they're gonna be insta-gibbing the bosses no matter what. So probably PvPers that like go around ganking people, or they get a whole bunch of other gankers together and pick targets and wipe out entire groups. The very kind of burst damage builds that Zenimax has been trying to nerf. So, let's see. Clothing. We did upgrade everything, right? Yeah. Yep. And we're low on materials as a result of it, so we're going to have to go on another shopping spree to get some more stuff. And then buy like a crap ton of like rubidite thread or whatever, and just refine it and get all the upgraded materials from it. All right, let's make some enchants. Purple enchants, because this is experimental. So let's make 7 Rapora Mako Rekutas. We don't need any enchants for weapons, we just need them for jewelry. So we'll emphasize spell power because we're emphasizing healing. Rapora Mako Rekutas, 7 of those.
Rapora Mako Rekuta.
Spence. Makadiri. This is actually a song that I heard over on Twitch. Somebody was using it for a stream intro at one point, and I was like, hope nobody tries to DMCA them by pretending they own the rights to the song. Rapora Makdiri Rekuta.
Rapora Makdiri Rekuta.
All right, let's enchant everything and throw it in the handy-dandy little storage chest. That's where all the stuff shows up. And we'll spec hybrid, because he's hybrid magic and health. She'll be hybrid magic and stamina. And then we'll see how well everything works. Armor. So, first the Shackle Breaker. Shackle Breaker. Enchant. Shackle Breaker. Purple enchant on green crafted gear. Am I being an idiot or what? Then again, I have a sub thing that drives a truck across the screen.
Roger, 10 towards. The truckers are rolling this morning.
And I'm a moron. And I recorded that when I was in high school, so I was a moron who didn't know anything about CB radio etiquette. Let's see. Star. That does Twiceborn Star, right? Okay. Trying to filter this properly. All right, let's hybrid the living daylight. She's not going to be able to use any other... She's not going to be able to use any other gear. And that's what the problem with this build is going to be. Because the minute we switch to Cleric, it's going to drop the stamina buff. Spending all this in-game gold for science. Star. Shackle Breaker. Star. And the only greens I'm carrying. She'll take the weapons from what she already has. Okay. Well, let the grand experiment begin. That one's worth a replay with how high energy it is. Staycation. I think that's Studio 2020. That's a disco one I found. All right, let's set this up. So the fun part is if we screw it up, we just respec and get free. You have to just place all the points again. So we'll go with emphasis on magicka, because a Zen Archer is a healer first and archer second. The benefit is that magicka is exclusively used for healing. So there is no casting spells, and then oops, people need heals, and the character's trying to recover with a resto staff. It's kind of the idea. Just never been able to make it anything enjoyable because you always know that that's gimped. All right, let's go get all the gear, and let's grab the bow. Go around in purple gear. This is going to be a little too experimental here. Let's equip it all. Then start putting down some points. Are you sure you want to equip it? This is going to bind it to you, you know. Duh. Giuliano's gear. Why am I still carrying that stuff? We'll swap and craft the Alfique if necessary. So we're down to 41 grand. All right. It's because we haven't. Oh, we're gonna lose all the equipment when we change over.
I've been at this. Hold on.
Zen Archer. Equip. We've just changed gear. You have attribute points. It's actually Zen Archer. That didn't work. What's this? That equipped all the wrong stuff because I didn't set that up yet. Da-da. Twice born star. Necklace, ring. Twilight's Embrace. Hey, wait, I thought I put a no, that can't be. It didn't wipe out the enchants. There's no way. She didn't. Did we make that? We'll save that over. Enchant the bow. We made the wrong enchant last time. That's what the problem is. Kuta can't make it because we don't have any points. Let's have some fun with this. Just save our progress as we equip everything. Shackle Breaker.
You're good.
All right, save Zen Archer with this gear. There. Switch off to Cleric and enchant that stupid thing. Yeah. Not the outfit station. Yeah. Kuta, Mako, Itade.
Itade, Mako, Huta.
Enchant that stupid bow. Whatever. Okay. Now respec. There's no way it blows away the enchants.
Ready to try.
That'd be a
something
bug
new,
if it
eh?
does. Respec to Zen Archer. We got to figure out some more hybrid stuff. We can't go. I don't think the double Mundus boons is really going to work here, but let's try this out. Respecs for non-skills are cheap anyways. 32, and then 32 points magic, 32 points stamina. Split them up. Skill points, we don't have them yet, but we will get the Breton skills out of the way. And then the medium armor skills. All right, she's not maxed out on that yet. Now, Constellation time. Plus stamina. Plus magicka. Plus spell damage. And this applies to everything, not just heals or other stuff. Plus weapon and spell damage. And come in with this for plus crit. Take plus crit damage and healing for star number 4 because it'll apply to both damage and healing. Plus magic plus stamina plus magicka. Kind of settled into a generic build right now. Lots of offensive pen. Plus chance to apply magic effects. Plus 100 weapon and spell damage. Actually back that off. We're going to see if we can take the other side as well. Well, I mean, the only other points we can take here are for damage reduction. So let's go. We only have 23 points. So that's the problem, is we can only martial status effect, then plus 100 weapon and spell damage to martial attacks. We don't have the points yet to apply anything to. We don't have the points just yet we need 30 points to unlock that side of it. The only way to get that is to give up something that already is boosting us. So we'll leave that as is. We have hybrid set up for these kinds of things. Start putting points in here because this is where all the warfare points are going to go for those. Over on this side, plus health for a little extra longevity. The option of tanking as well, because a dead DPS does no damage. The resource regen for star number 4 is going to be Magicka, because she's primarily a healer. Sprint speed, back out. Plus health, set the recovery resource to Magicka when you kill an enemy. So she can recover her Magicka with a bow. So if she casts a bazillion heals, runs out of Magicka, she can recover it a bit with her bow attacks. So there's this. That'll be for number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next things to apply this to. Roll dodge, make it cheaper. Break free, make it cheaper. Block, make it cheaper. Actually, that's more tanky. Put all the points into something else first. In here, elemental stat, don't have enough points to reduce the duration of status effects. What's this? That's bloody renewal. All right. Block. Get a little faster while bracing. This is more PvP for stealth detection and returning with more resources per stage. Damage you can block in case she wants to tank. Over on this side, sneak radius. We also have the movement speed penalty of sneak in there, but something's bugged about all of that. We'll take all this because we know we have the points for it. Unlock this. Unlock this. Unlock this. Better quality items in treasure chests. Better ability to refine stuff. Better harvesting time, which is a big point sink. And chances for double the yield of resource nodes. And the rest of this can go into finding more gold in treasure chests. Might want to change that later. What? How come it only... No, this can't be right. Back out. How come it didn't take it? It says I have everything, but it's acting like I never took any points. Confirm. Is this bugging out again? One or more slotted champion skills have not been purchased. Why was it trying to... was it trying to redistribute on me? Okay, now it's right. We didn't blow another 3,000, I hope. Thought that bug was fixed. We're not getting the 65.5 anymore. All right, so 36 and 24. So we have after... Did we? Does this count yet? 520 max. 1300. 36 and 24. We don't have the Mundus stuff totally set up yet, though. Magic. Da-da-da-da-da. Spell damage. Magic and magic. Seems like that should be higher. Let's save that. Save the bow in its current state. No, we don't have Crafty Alfiq. That's why. We don't have Crafty Alfiq. We'd have to swap in Crafty Alfiq for that to work. So, Zen Archer, save. 3232, and all of that is in. Street clothes.
The right armor.
Save. All right, so this is all medium armor. The big thing is we don't have crafty Alfiq, which is why we're missing a few thousand magic. All right. This is actually worse. This is actually worse because you're able to get with the Mundus. I think this is probably not going to work as well. Let's head off to the tower and pick up the tower as a second Mundus stone. So that's 3,000 magicka as is. But I think we actually did better with the old setup, which combined together. So this actually has lower stamina and 36,000. I should have known hybrid gear would not. The problem with the hybrid gear is that you can get hybrid gear either through gear that's explicitly designed for it, or you get hybrid gear through a mixture of hulking Draugr and crafty Alfiq, which is what I had earlier. So a mixture of heavy and light. I don't have any skills, so we have to do light attacks only if we get attacked by something. So let's head off to the Mundus. Head on off to the Mundus stone and get plus stamina from the tower, which is this one over here. We'll see if we can just run past everything without fighting anything, because we have no skills right now. Of course, you could always summon the general and go to cleric for that.
Yeah.
Somehow I have this horrible feeling that going to cleric for that is actually going to be bad. So we'll have to maintain the experimental nature of this build then. Let's see. To the tower. The problem with doing all this through Mundus stones is pretty obvious. $23,500. The problem with doing, see, we're only gonna get to 27,000 by doing this. So Twiceborn Star. The thing is, you have sets of gear that give you a crap ton of health or a crap ton of stamina or a crap ton of magicka, and you can just combine them together if you get the right pieces. All right, so here's with both Munduses. So we're at 27,000 stamina, and we've lost a bunch of, and 36,000. So how about we swap in the legendary crafty Alfiq that we have, which is going to, I believe, cost us. No, it's not. Crafty Alfiq gets us into the high 30s. Amulet, ring, and ring. So now we have 40 and 25 thou. So this doesn't work. Even with the double Mundus boons. The hybrid gear just doesn't do the trick. And we end up with damage. Well, we had 30,000. We had 30,000 before, that's the thing. By combining together hulking Draugr in this. But the real way in which this build completely fails at its job is that the minute we have to now we have to use Twiceborn Star with every spec. Good old Spence. We have to use, the problem with using Twiceborn Star with its double Mundus boons is you lose them the minute you equip anything else. This is why I stopped using Twiceborn Star. So this doesn't work. The old way we had earlier actually works better. So what we had before was actually better. So let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and go back to the castle and set up some skills and try this yet again. But we'll put an emphasis on magicka. So the idea here is pretty simple. Yeah, so that is complete crap. Twiceborn Star is pretty much obsolete at this point. Double Mundus boons, but nobody's going to want to equip. Nobody is going to want to be stuck wearing Twiceborn Star with every single build that they have, because that's the only way you don't lose the second Mundus boon. Garbage. Let's take matters into our own hands. We can switch back to Cleric to decon everything because we have all our skills set up for that.
May I be of service?
We didn't take our Breton skills, right? That's 2,000 magic by itself. Garbage. So our only hope is to use... Well, the problem with using hybrid gear is that there's already gear through Hulking Draugr meets Crafty Alfiq. Get the Hulking Draugr gear again. We could also do... We could swap the Hulking Draugr gear over to improve the enchants, which would help the hybrid side of things. So set the traits to infused instead of divines, where it's dependent upon what Mundus boon you have. So let's see. Is there any Hulking Draugr that is infused? No, I have the wrong traits. That. I think I might still be carrying it. There it is. That's the stuff that's set to infused. So just from that, we already have more resources. We're up to 30,000 stamina now. Well, let's set it up then. There is no skills. So here we are again. Hulking Draugr. We have stamina enchants on it. Switch them over to magic. That will actually cost us a few thousand of each. So we're basically back to where we started with that. We can equip a stamina bow for plus stamina and make a stamina resto staff. Try and close that gap a little more. Bow of Night Silence. And so back to 3531. So we're back to 3531. And basically back to where we started with all of this. So why don't we just take this combination thing. We also can put all the points into stamina too. So we have 3531. Set everything up. Storing Light, Rust Ceremony. No, Breath of Life. Get a cleave going on there. On the bow side of things, Snipe, and Focused Aim. This is Poison. That's our poison arrow right there. But let's do Focused Aim because Moose Thunderbear has all the poison arrows. Restoring Light, Cleansing Ritual, Extended Ritual. Extended Ritual to use as an AE heal, plus the passives. The ultimate has to be Crescent Sweep in order to get the benefits of having an Adric Spear ability slotted, because none of them are currently set up. So that gives us these, which also give us plus crit damage and plus damage to blocking targets. And weapon and spell damage, 6% weapon and spell damage boost. So we have that on top of all the medium armor type stuff we're doing here. So we also need, because we have the Crafty Alfiq again, light armor bonuses. Let's see, give her a faster mount with continuous attack. She's not going to heal with stamina. She's going to heal with magic. There we go. So yeah, it is kind of experimental in a sense, but if we get some more points, then we finish off the other side of that thing in the warfare tree. I wonder if that makes things any better with an extra 100 weapon damage to physical attacks. So for this, we have our 2 heals. We have a bow attack. Let's also pick up Bombard. Snipe I didn't find to be all that interesting, but Bombard as a form of crowd control actually was useful. So for bow, we can take all the extra stuff now. We can level all the skills as needed. Arrow spray, swap over to Bombard, because Moose is going to use acid spray for poison damage. Although the thing is, now use Bombard, crowd control. Got to be more necessary. And make that the number 2 attack with the bow. Now, Adric Spear. We could also do this with a set of bows, too. Have more heals on... Have more bow attacks on thing number 1 and more heals on thing number 2. So the thing is, since we know we're kind of limited, can we make up... Since we're mixing everything up hybrid style, what if we were to use Solar Barrage in spot 4 and level that up? Solar Barrage in level 4 and level that up. Then number 5, the thing is, boosting spell damage. We know boosting spell damage made this hit harder. So let's see. Mage Guild. Entropy, switch over to Degeneration for major sorcery. Because for some reason that increases Solar Barrage. So the idea here is we have crowd control available. The regular attacks will be boosted by Solar Barrage, and then that will be boosted by Degeneration. So get some more magic this way as well by having something slotted. So gain that. On Fighters Guild, Intimidating Presence and Bounty Hunter. Intimidating Presence and Bounty Hunter. So we have that available. Silver Bolts. When we have to switch over to the Resto Staff, we don't want to be using any magic for any healing. So we'll try the Silver Bolts thing again over here. So Slayer will increase weapon and spell damage when we're over on the... So 3% spell damage increase. Silver Bolts. Switch on over to Silver Shards. So there's kind of an attack over here too. Banish the Wicked. And plus a 10% damage. Restoring life. So even when we're back to what we had earlier. But on this side, let's put over Dawn's Wrath. So we're not directly attacking, we'll level Solar Barrage. So Degeneration, she doesn't really have a nuke, but she can use her stamina for that. So Mage Guild, Degeneration. Alright, so there's that. So she heals with magic and does damage with stamina and has roughly equal pools of them. 31 Thou, and we've got 32 split out. Slightly more magic because she's a Breton, but still has about 30,000 stamina to play with after the food buff. Especially if we get the sugar skulls involved, which are just a hair better. 36 and 31. So it's a matter of what. We can also make a Resto Staff. Go make a Resto Staff that has plus stamina. So when we use the stamina gear... So we use the stamina gear, the numbers are the same, because right now there's a little bit of a wobble when we change weapons. So let's go get, set up the trade skills. Let's go save this too, by the way. I can't believe we're trying this again.
We win our battles before they start.
Zen Archer, save. It's experimental anyways. If we need something more powerful, we'll switch over to Cleric, which is 100% focused on magic. And just heal and smite things. This is to mix things up. And so, let's go make a plus... I never thought I'd want to do something like this, but let's go make a plus stamina Resto Staff. off to the mage tower, and this is all set. Skills. Let's take our craft skills here. She definitely has the skills to do that kind of stuff. Still working on alchemy, though. Hirelings, get that back. Metal extraction for deconning stuff. And tempers for improving stuff. She has the ability to be a master crafter, but doesn't know as many recipes as Mr. Goodmain does. Outfitter hireling. Unraveling. Tannin expertise. Enchanting. Hireling. Runestone extraction. Jewelry crafting, my only other maxed out jewelry crafter. Extraction. And plating's expertise. Provisioning. Yes, she can cook, but she's not there yet. Let's see. Hireling. Brewer. We should do that for the daily quests. But let's save the points for a bit. She needs a few more skill points. Lumberjack hireling. Wood extraction. Resin expertise. Alchemy side of things. Save that. Save that for later. Just can't believe just blew all that money only to come back and spend it again. Well, what matters more is closing the healing gap and having more token damage opportunities available because we're using the number 4 ability, Solar Barrage. So, with not emphasizing stamina at all, you're getting 5 grand a hit and critting at 10 grand on regular mobs. Resin expertise, etc. So we have all that set up. Undaunted. She still doesn't have Undaunted Command, which gives Undaunted Command and Undaunted Metal, so we should run more dungeons. So this gives us that, and that. Bow, we have all of that taken. Probably shouldn't have taken Focused Aim. Bombard. Scatter Shot, we can also work on that too. Destro Staff, we don't need unless we tank. Resto Staff. She definitely has some resto abilities here. Now, on this side of things, we're doing more healing. So we're not trying to... This is useless, except for that kind of stuff anyway. So let's swap that out for Radiating Regeneration, which is a extremely good skill. So we have Bow and we have Resto Staff. So we'll do all the offensive boosts with the bow. All right. Heavy armor, we'll revisit that later. As it stands right now, it's a mixture of all of this. Undaunted, Mage Guild, Fighters Guild. Didn't really know if we had to do that. Scrying and Excavation, we'll save that for later. Save this as is.
That's a damn fine...
All right. Never thought I'd see the day where I'd have to say this. Let's make a plus stamina restoration staff. That way we can just swap, swap weapons for the extra 1,000 of magic or something like that. Can't believe I'm doing something like this. Of course, the new Armory system lets you experiment. We already have Cleric dialed in if we need something more powerful that isn't so hybrid and experimental. Lower difficulty levels, I mean, you could use it in PvP. Let's test it out on this mob that's always in the way here. $45, $80, yeah, $8 grand. Doing okay with that. So we only use the number 2 skill. We're only using the number 2 skill. The sad part is we can't do any sneaking up on things. We're only using the number 2 skill for crowd control. So let's see. We could also throw poison on everything if we want to use that other skill. All right. Track Tribe. Good with the classic rock as usual. All right, so Glenumbra plus this one. What's this? Are these bounties or something? Spindle Clutch. Oh, that's why they're on the map. I have Spindle Clutch as an undaunted pledge. I'm like, why is it telling me to randomly kill stuff? All right. This one for 1,000 extra stamina, because there aren't any. Okay, on today's vlog. Rest in peace, vlogging. Chat streams are so much more worth it. Oh, I still was so tempted to set. The problem is that the buff from the number 4 ability, Solar Barrage, does not apply to special skills. So basically we should probably just swap them 2 and 4. So we go in, bam, then start attacking stuff while the bow is glowing. Okay, to make our plus stamina resto staff. Oh man, pitiful. I know I have plenty of materials though for upgrades on the wood side of things. Okay, here we are. A Night Silence resto staff for plus 1,000 stamina. Let's see. Put sharpened on it. We might as well have our abilities hit harder. Physical and spell pen. Night Silence resto staff plus stamina. So that way you can just swap weapons. I might just put a stamina regen on this too. Alright, resto staff of Night Silence. There we go. So now we have the 31,000 stamina no matter, and nothing changes. So we have 36,000 magic, 31,000 stamina, and we can balance that out a little more if we put some points. If we want like 64 stamina, but we're going full hybrid and seeing what we can squeeze out of this. So we go into a dungeon. The problem is she has no AoE unless she uses the bombard skill. I think it might be more worth it if she actually, because this will increase our spell and weapon damage. It increases your weapon and spell damage by 3%. It might actually be more worth it for her to do AoE with the crossbow. So single target, not even use any bow skills. So she casts some holy stuff and then shoots with her bow and busts out a crossbow for any AoE. Stop. You couldn't pick this crap up if you tried. Which is why I thought it up by not trying. See, the fun here is you don't actually... I don't know. We'll just keep leveling. Gonna level really slow like this.
I really don't like your odds.
We could also switch to plus magic if we just need an extra 1,000 magicka for some reason. I don't really see that happening though. Oh look, a hag raven. Crits for 8 grand. The beauty of this is not using any magic in order to attack except for an extremely magic efficient... What is this?
Know the difference between
RKVC, Nightmares in. Save Zen Archer as is. This is pathetic. And you know what? Since I'm so used to using Solar Barrage on the number 4 slot...
Swords, axe.
So I'm so used to using Solar Barrage at the number 4 slot. Let's just save, do this. So now she has the Fighters Guild crossbow as her AoE. She actually does more damage with it, so it might just be more worth it to just spam that. That's because the Fighters Guild skills have a plus damage thing. So we could just end up using the bow to regen stamina. Oh, this is nuts. Well, I suppose before we go before we go ticking people off in groups with this weird experimental stuff, let's go try it out in the Deadlands. There's plenty of outdoor activity going on in the Deadlands, so that's a great place to do some experimenting. Hybrid stuff. So how about we pick up, let's go to Fargrave, grab the dailies, and then see what we can help out, kind of tag along. We already have Miri Alendis set up as this. Oh, man. So, let's see. You cannot mount. Yeah, because I just got here. So, if we need more magic, we have plus magic weapons that we're carrying around. Oh, man. The stupid part is I have a melee...
Looking for work? Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
We're a group of... Yes, but...
Shut up. Give me my stuff here. Brandfire Reformatory. There's only two delves and 2 world bosses, so I'm sure the world bosses are still getting super camped. Well, this is RKVC, who likes to make really exaggerated 80s type stuff. All right, let's see here. Deadlands. We'll come in on the west side. On the west side. Coming at the Blood Pit. Now this is the part where everything turns red. Wait, was that Sir Elendis? Yeah, Sir Elendis. That's a new character that was created for Miri as a companion.
Get the portal right!
Nice to see angry Daedra screwing up their portals. Okie dokie. Oh, look! Are people about to camp the world boss? I wonder. There's only one place this guy could be dashing off to. It's dead, right? Aw, the world boss is dead. Alright. Put these stone things in here. Track Tribe, man. Well, Track Tribe is an org, actually. So there are several YTAL artists that have banded together under the Track Tribe brand. So they actually have a website. I haven't been there in a while. Okay, where's the 5th one? Probably the one thing that doesn't have the... There's something flying. Does that mean anything? No. Let's see. Where's the 5th one? It's supposed to be 5 right here. Right here by the singed skeleton. Okay, that's there. Now, when does the boss spawn? There's got to be another one of those situations where I should just go... There's timers for the... Actually, there's a boss timers add-on for world bosses. You know what? Let's do the interesting stuff first. Let's go to the delve. Whoops. I want to test this, and I want to test this sooner rather than later. So we're going to go off to the delve first. Oh, yeah, it would probably help if Miri was actually on the team. Summon. This collectible cannot be used while in combat. Never done the quest for in there. I can't imagine the bow skill is going to level very fast now. Definitely need to grind Undaunted, though. We can just switch to Cleric for that, though. We don't need to do Zen Archer. All right. That's not going to do anything. 10 grand. That's about on par. And the thing is, just wander in and just start point blanking everything. Get close to the tank or something and attack close by. That's still a thing. She's actually better with the crossbow than the bow. Could fire off some heavy attacks and hope they crit.
I don't want to hurt
18
you, but
grand.
now I'm going to.
10 grand. Some burst potential. The problem is there's no way to stealth when you've cast this. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta try that now. $14,000. Hybrid, baby. Hey, that Atronarch there. Yeah. You could really cast this without getting blown out of stealth? No, of course not. But it... 22,000. I think this thing gets extra damage versus Daedra, too. I'll hit almost 10,000 DPS. Let's see. Why are you spamming plus signs? Because I'm trying to change quests. We got all these dailies like Disrupt a Harrow Storm in Skyrim. No, this one. Deadlands. This one. Gathering relics from storage chests. Yay! Another chest. Should do some Thieves Guild to get better skill with locks. Although I've got the hand-eye coordination down for the mini-game here. Bow of the Kin Marcher's Cruelty. It's just too bad that there's no bow attacks that will cleave. It's too bad the bow can't be set to cleave and hit stuff right next to it. We got the dailies done. Bow, crossbow, and divine spells, and no use of magic for the most part for contributing damage to a party. Interesting. Oh yeah, no mounts in here, even though it totally looks like Oblivion.
I guess this is a fight now.
Fighters
The
Guild.
last of them. Oh, thank Beck.
We could always do like a Fighters Guild, like use some of these other things. So set traps, circle of protection, things like that. But I think I'll just be fine with silver shards. She also has Dawnbreaker. Doesn't make any sense for her to swing a gigantic sword, though. Can't believe I picked up Dawnbreaker with her. Cheap damage. Can we sabotage those things? How is that thing not blowing me out of stealth if it's constantly throwing fireballs? Now for these, Spittle Stick. Incapacitate. Should actually spec for... Surprise! Should respec for more stealth. What? Did the thing forget to die? Should actually respec the champion points for more stealth. Since we are playing with these kinds of things. Oh, let's blow another 3,000 gold. We'll probably get attacked while I'm doing this. I know exactly where I'll get the points from. Take this down to... Oops. Cancel, redistribute. Let's try this again. All the way down to just one of those things. Spend 10 to upgrade. Now, 1 point in out of sight. We don't have enough points. Crap, we don't have enough points to get it. We'd have to actually take some out of here and start working on more gold from treasure chests. Take 2 out of there. Let's see. Movement speed penalty, 25% reduced movement speed sneak penalty. Start working on more gold from the chests again. Might as well save the build. That's not too bad. It's... Disable? It's just too bad that the armor that's supposed to do that to eliminate the movement speed penalty of sneak is disabled right now. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. $4,500. I don't think this really helps. I think we need to look into Fighters Guild skills for her, because these bows aren't really... The only thing we could do is boost a heavy attack. Yeah, see, the crossbow lag. The crossbow's hitting for like $5,000 because it's getting boosts from spell damage. Well, we could also do the set trap thing as well. So trap beast. And it actually increases critical damage with that kind of stuff. Stealth and invisible. Expert hunter. Let's go stealth over here. What is expert oops. Not very stealthy when we're getting hit by the poison plants. Or using heals. Alright. Stealth. What does expert hunter morph into? I think I'll take a trip over to some wikis here. Expert hunter ESO. No, I don't want a credit report from Experian. ESO skill book. Let's give F Extra Life some views and some other crap. Your non-ultimate fighter guild abilities have increased damage with Evil Hunter. So Evil Hunter is while active, your non-ultimate fighters guild abilities have increased damage. So we activate Expert Hunter and you gain weapon crit from that. And so that actually increases the damage. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should try to level that up. And then have it buff that kind of stuff. Have it buff silver shards, make silver shards hit harder. Trap beast. Alright, how about Circle of Protection? It's a fear ability. And Ring of Preservation actually heals allies. So it actually turns it into a heal. A stamina heal. Those regen. So we basically now just have the bow in order to regen stamina. But if we can unlock Evil Hunter... Let's do that. We'll just swap it in. This also gives us plus 6%. Plus 6% weapon and spell damage. So this actually makes everything do more, too.
I hope you're watching.
Not exactly a Zen Archer if we're using crossbows. I don't think that really does anything. Let's get the Dawn's Wrath back in there. We can level that separately. So we run out of stamina, and then we boost our 17 grand. Yeah, so we cast that when we run out of stamina, and then regen heavy armor and hit harder for the duration. And because we're out of stamina when we cast that, it pulls from Magicka instead. So we can just do this while we're regenning. 10 grand. And then switch back. How many of these things are there? That's kind of cute. All right. Good old silent partner. Well, if people come running, there's divine damage. If people come running, this thing hits them with divine damage anyway, so. And we just hit this.
I'm still here. Asking.
Crazy.
Get back, you fetcher! But it killed them to run away. Well, now I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should.
So that makes sense, you know, come in, blast things with the crossbow, then cast that divine spell, and regen stamina and hit harder while doing so. Or just do this, you know, save resources by doing this. I might revisit this for my Stamina Templar as well. Because he'll actually hit harder. Revisit this for the Stamina Templar as well, because he'll actually hit harder with a bow. I might want to reconsider that. He has what, great sword, and give him a bow. Make him a Zen Archer as well, but coming over from the other direction. So he'll be better at doing the bow attack side of it and not so much with healing. Plus he'll get the red guard boosts. He's a red guard. He'll get the red guard boost to the other stuff. Well, that's useless.
Off with you, Swit!
4 grand, 7 grand. Shooting all the critters with the crossbow. Well, since we can open with that and surprise people, why don't we do that? See if we can get a stealth open on one of these guys. Which, if we're going to do that, we might as well take points in Ledger Domain. Improved hiding, reduce the cost of sneak. Whoops.
You lead.
So the problem is that we have to boost weapon damage. The problem is we have to boost our weapon damage in order to increase the cost of that with the number 5 skill. But the number 5 actually boosts the number 4 abilities. Ow. But that's only 4,500 versus 5,900. So that we might as well just get rid of that number 5 ability then. Maybe put something in here. Put shards on it for regenning the party. But I think something else that might be more useful would be restoring aura, or better yet, how about an AE heal? And we'll do Ritual of Rebirth. Just swap that out. Since we're not, I mean, the spell damage thing, who really cares? Set that like this. Save the build as is. So we sacrifice some more damage for more healing capabilities. We could also, on the Resto Staff thing,
You're ready to mix things up, are
throw in a damage shield or something like that. Save Zen Archer. So heals with magic, damages with stamina, even more so now. Uses the bow to regen stamina instead of attacking with it. That means we can drop some of those bow abilities then. It actually uses Fighters Guild capabilities and stuff. It'd be more interesting though if we put some more surprise! 13 grand. That actually crit though. I didn't get a stealth thing on it. $15 grand.
To the side!
Definitely better with this Definitely better with the stealth speed. Plus, she's wearing the medium armor to really benefit from it. It's just too bad we can't use this without getting blown out of stealth. Now I gotta wait to re-stealth in order to do a stealth open on that guy. 22 grand. I don't think that's really worth it for 22,000. Alright. Or what if we did all the healing by... What if we swapped weapons for that sort of thing, though? What if we took some more Fighters Guild skills? Take some more Fighters Guild skills. Put Expert Hunter on the bar. Put Expert Hunter on the bar. And how about we do Circle of Protection and level it up to turn into a heal? So this will actually heal people. But that'll actually boost the Fighters Guild skill. That'll boost silver shards up as well. So 10 grand. $12 grand. She doesn't hit as well when regenning stuff, but 12 grand. Could also try and get a stealth open on something. The boss is dead as usual. Let's get a stealth open on that guy. 15 thou. Circle of Protection. We want to level those up. Trap Beast would actually do more. That actually applies bleed damage and stuff. Alright. Change back to the build we had before. She still has the boost to stealth, right? Yep, we just got all those points. So, let's get Miriam on the action. I suppose we should probably do a Dark Brotherhood thing and get Blade of Woe. Boy, that'd be funny if she wound up with the Blade of Woe skill.
Your service to Lord Dagon is no longer required.
Let's take out the boss. Instant crit. Kind of works. But yeah, so we run out of... I guess Solar Barrage really changes everything with this, though.
Go around!
27,000. That's some serious spiking. That's some serious spiking when we're... We could also do weapon enchants as well. Maybe put some poison on... Maybe put a poison on the bow or something. Actually, don't we have some poison? Some, like, crown poison we can never, ever use up. So this actually has... So you can put poison on the arrows and just apply a bunch of crown lethal poison. We certainly could use this up. So this might give us some options if the enchant goes off more often. Scatter some poison around. Scatter some poison around and use up some of these poisons. Poison arrows. Not use hardly any resources. All right, let's get out of here.
That was a bit of a warm-up.
Cover charged by track drive. This one might be a little too quiet. It's kind of like jazz. All right. So we'll see if the world boss is alive. So I think this kind of, this rotation where we cast the divine damage when we got to use, a fitness point.
I think I'm getting good at this.
We cast the divine ability when we want to regen stamina and then have heavy attacks get boosted. And if they're around, of course, they'll get hit by the AE. 13 thou. Then just make sure to switch back. Or just hang out near the tank and have the AE hit them on purpose. But 7,000 DPS, 9,000 DPS as a healer. I think the real DPS people do like 10 grand or something. But I'm legit curious about Fighters Guild now. That might be the secondary, might do a secondary spec for like a sorcerer, Stam Sork or something, or Master at Arms. Stamplar would probably be a pretty good one for. Have all the Fighters Guild skills and abilities. Give them a bow. Just do this, but emphasize Fighters Guild more often. Because the thing with the Consecrate ability here, Restoring Light, this actually increases, it scales your highest offensive stats. So as a Stamplar, it would increase with your stamina here. So let's see. Oh, those are prisoners that are getting beat up. Level up for MultimediaJay. Good.
I can beat you at. Something.
I suppose this kind of, well, we'll have to see a cycle of this in action here. Let's go find the world boss to finish the dailies.
Don't just stand there, Scout.
So we'll do a regen cycle of both specs. We'll do a regen cycle of both specs, and we'll see what the difference is. So we'll do like 2 cycles. So run out of resources, regen the resources, run out of resources, and regen them again. Like do 2 cycles and stuff, see what the difference is. Now let's take out this world boss. Looks like they just killed it. Now there's what? Now there's 2. Now there's 2 of them. Yeah, they just killed it.
Off we go.
You could always queue for a dungeon and see if the boss is up when we get out. Actually, did MultimediaJay level up and gain some more skill points or something?
Hope we find something interesting today.
Nah, she's just 15 combat level. She needs to hit level 20 in order to unlock an ultimate slot. The only thing we could do is finish upgrading her to heavy armor. These farmed all over the place world bosses, though. This got ridiculous a long time ago, especially when they know they die in like 2 minutes. This is just nuts. So there's the boss. just chilling up there. And something triggers to make him come down the hill. What is that? What the? Mirialendis decked out in apostle gear? It's an interesting setup. Yeah, they're over here like, we're not doing... Nothing's happening. We're not staying here. Yeah, it's because the fight's over. I keep showing up right after the boss dies. All right. Give it some time then. We'll do the stretch break then. We'll restart this song when we get back. Let's do a stretch break. Now watch. I'll bet any money the boss respawns while I'm out. It'd be my usual complete lack of luck as usual.
cry for mummy.
Life will consume you. It will be over soon.
Well, that was quick. Fortunately, it's a world boss. Fortunately, it's a world boss quest. More of those things. Oh, it was a wipe. All right, let's restart everything.
You will burn.
Check. Right. We're back in business. It's 2 million damage. Shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world. It's a giant salamander. Giant caterpillar thing. Interrupt somebody? That's more like it. When people are gonna keep dying when all you're doing is not doing the mechanics. It's like, really? Get all of that. Yeah, let's get out of here then. We have the dailies. We can also try group as well. Kind of rushed back because I saw the fight was already starting up. That's what I figured would happen, is that the fight would actually start while I was out and I'd come back and it'd be over. I was half right. All right, let's see here. And there's a wandering world boss right up the street. Not enough for kill credit, though.
Let's ride.
Turn everything in. Head on off to Fargrave, turn these in. Then we should probably try a dungeon.
You there? I bring.
All right, let's check a little something here. Still unreliable in terms of this other stuff.
Oh, you're back? I'm still a novice at a... You want to work?
You came back. Excellent. The Saraputan.
Right, so that's the dailies testing this out. Not so sure. Well, we can get rid of all the shackle breaker and the other stuff then. Might as well decon all of that. We have all the bonuses to deconning on this character as well. Let's see here.
Tired of walking anyway.
Leoin. Get out of here and get back over to Leoin here. Do craft dailies round 2, then decon everything in the Leoin crafting area, since Fargrave has you run through a whole bunch of doors.
You there. The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
I think when all is said and done,
Comrade, a word.
Fargrave will go down as being the worst designed city in the game. What the? We did these beforehand. We must have just missed it. Or the reset happens at a different time because of daylight savings. That would explain a few things. Take this out. All right, Shackle Breaker. Where is all that stuff? We never did lock all that. It was closed. That's why. That's why I'm not seeing any of that stuff. We'll take out the jewelry then. What a waste. Of course, hybrid gear I've never really seen do all that well. The issue with hybrid gear, if you're not wearing heavy armor, is that there's already overland sets that give you a high amount of magic and a high amount of stamina. You just have to set everything up properly. Now, let's see. Enchant table. Take those out. Sell the other stuff, too.
I sometimes miss the heat.
Well, 140,000 anyways. We start with 150 grand, though.
The
We'd
guild
have,
requests your help.
we'd have to have some more characters doing some stuff here. So this, where are we going to spend points, though, when we run out? The next big point sink is for elemental stuff. Plus damage to block. Save that to this.
Back again.
Save Zen Archer. Even the poison's on there, too. Alright, switch over to Cleric, and let's update the build. So she's not sneaky here, because sneakiness lends itself more to some other stuff. Let's go in here, and this is more for straight-up spell power. Take that out. Fitness, over on this side. See, this side is already filled out. So if you get any extra points, where are we going to put them? What's this? Cost to break free could be cheaper. This one will actually make more money. All right, switch off to Save Cleric. Save Cleric. And switch back to Zen Archer. All right, let's try a dungeon. Close out all these extra web browsers, too. Cut all that off, especially with F Extra Life is getting free views by embedding streams on there. People aren't fond of that, by the way. All right, let me just see one thing over on the YouTube channel before we queue everything up. I got some stuff to listen to and watch. That's what we'll probably be doing during the week, then. 4th impressions of Deadlands. Just want to see something here. Good. All right. Time to test this out in the daily. We also have Undaunted Pledges we could finish up, too, so we could specifically queue for those. All right, let's try these out. And get Muriel Lendis back on screen. Whoops. Free heal. Healer with a bow? What? So Zen Archer...
Get away from the family a bit.
Before we do that, though, let's do the 2 cycles.
The guild has need of you, comrade.
Let's do the 2 cycles of use up the resources and get them back. And then we'll compare the fights versus that ogre with extra armor. So Zen Archer versus straight up Cleric. Use up the resources, regen the resources, then use up the resources again, then regen the resources again, then stop. And see what the difference is in the 2 fights. Set that up. Last time there was a substantial difference in damage, but with a boost to the damage you do while recharging, how much does that close the gap? Now that we have everything set up like this. 35,000 is also what we want to heal with as well. And keep Magicka as the dominant resource here. All right. So for this, we're going to have to go grab the Armory station again, which we can grab remotely. Browse, retrieve. Actually, let's just move this guy out here instead of the Armory station. Let's leave him out here. There. We'll just put him back afterwards. Or just move him back inside. All right, so we're straight up. No, we're still Zen Archer.
I can think of 18 ways.
Cleric. Use up the resources. We're going to use the resources twice. Regen the resources twice. Stop after regen number 2. Sugar skulls for the food buff. And we'll do plus spell damage. We'll do plus spell damage on the main weapon here. Well, we'll just do it with this then. All right, burn number 1. This might take a while. Expert warrior. What is that, damage based? Regen number 1. All the way back up to full. So we're going to compare basically resto. Square off the resto staff, which is the regen weapon. Burn number 2. I think the DPS is going to be similar, especially when we factor in the boost when regenning stamina. Regen number 2. Stop after regen number 2 when the resource is back to full. Stop. Drop combat. Get ready to respec. $7,700 DPS for 1 minute and 38 seconds of combat.
Some folks say killing the bear.
Switch off to Zen Archer. We're going to do bow damage specifically and regen stamina. And we'll have the bonus to our other stuff as well. 1 burn, 2 burns, 2 regens. 3, 2, 1. Burn number 1. This guy has more armor. We'll see what the difference is. Regen. That's regen number 1. Burn number 2. Regen number 2. I think the big thing that we're missing here is recasting the thing that boosts our heavy attack damage when it runs out. So like that's after 4 of those things. This is regen number 2 and it's raining out. Stop. All right, drop combat. $4,700 damage after 1 minute and 18 seconds. So the question you have to ask yourself with something like this is it really worth it? The question you have to ask yourself is it really worth it to not use any magic like that? 757,291 damage on the magic side. 367,786 damage on the Zen Archer side. So let's try that again and see. Let's try that again. 2 cycles of everything. but keep reapplying the buff. So once again, hybrid does, as fun as it sounds, hybrid just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So let's begin. Burn all the stamina, number one. And this time we'll keep recasting the buff for regen. So after 4 pulses of it, recast it. All right, regen number 1. Recast. Burn number 2. Some system lag there, huh? Regen number 2 and recast the buff while gaining everything back with the bow. Some interesting burst damage here and there. Recast. How much does that close the gap? Gain 5,000 DPS and 1 minute 23 seconds combat time. So that equates to what? Considering damage, 757 versus 367 versus 427. So you're still losing substantial amounts of damage to do something like this. The only advantage that this build, that Zen Archer has as a build, is that the only advantage that you're having with this is that you're not using any of the resource that you heal people with, so you're never caught without any magic. So, but even still, you're talking about losing some healing as well. Switch off to Cleric. Switch off to Cleric here. 13-7, 13-7, 13-7 non-crit, and if we take out the boost from using a two-hander, 12-6. 12-6 non-crit versus Armory versus Zen Archer. We got 12-6 non-crit without a bonus. 11-3. 11-3. All right. So those numbers add up. We're not really gaining anything. And even if we were to, I mean, we do gain some serious longevity if we decide to use this plus bonus and then fight with the regular bow to not use anything. But I think the Warden actually does a better job with that sort of thing. Now, granted, the whole hybrid support thing has been... something that Zenimax has been walking in the direction of with this sort of thing. It used to be the case that if you used your off-specs weapon, you would hit very, very badly, like under 1,000 damage, depending on the weapon involved. Put that guy back. So I'm not so certain about this. Could be the case that we could, try another hybrid tank type thing as well. Give her the option of hybrid tanking. Or just go back to the battle priest that we set up the other night. So let's see. But that's really the whole point of this sort of setup. I think another major difference too is the quality of the gear. We have stamina enchants on that. The other major issue we have is this is plus spell damage. We could swap those out with weapon damage, but then we'd lose them every time we switched over. stamina and sharpened for that. If we switch over to all stamina, we lose then we end up with like 33,000, 33,000. Not so sure that's really worth it. Let's compare martial weapon versus magical weapon with Solar Barrage. I'm sure we could do a normal difficulty dungeon this way. Let's see. You have a lot on your hands these last 2 nights. Like what? Trying to get this build to work? So here's crits for 6. Switch to the magic side. So that's crits for 5-9. This is just crazy. We could bias everything towards stamina a little more as well, but I think, you know, one of the things we do here is keep this around for just keeping track of how things are going with the hybrid side of things. We also have some more points to get to add another 100 weapon damage to all the attacks, but we have spell damage and weapon damage right here with this sort of thing. The only other option we have is to get a set of crafty Alfiq rings and then morph them over to plus stamina by setting them over to robust. So it's interesting because the itemization has been changed so that spell and weapon damage can come off of the same stuff nowadays. But what nobody's being told is that if you go hybrid, you lose a substantial amount of ability here. The reason why tanks do it is to have more resources, because you can block, basically use up all your magic. If you want to block everything and, you know, porcupine or whatever, you can block. You could actually go block some stuff and then switch off to the other blocking weapon when you run out of resources. I mean, that makes sense from, you know, a mitigation perspective. But for something like this, I don't see how it really works out. I think the best thing that I've set up is emphasis on magic or stamina based on she's a Breton, you know, do all magic, then just boost her toughness for tanking. So I think the Battle Priest thing has way more viability to it than this Zen Archer thing does. All right. Well, let's do a normal dungeon. Let's do a normal dungeon here, because the only thing that this really helps with is you don't use any resources of what you use to heal with when you're doing damage, so you're not ever caught having to regen or take a potion or something. So the only issue is using your stamina. You'll sprint around and do stuff like that as well. Let's go give this a shot. Do a random normal. Do a random normal and heal this thing. If it gets to be too much, we'll just swap things. We'll just swap over to Cleric. Let's try this out. Ha! No instant healer cues. Alright. Wayrest Sewers. Oh, this will be a cheese job. No DLC dungeon. Alright, well, let's see if the tank has any health. I think it's more worth it for my characters to be able to... What the... Okay, there's the... We're missing a DPS. Not like that's gonna matter.
That was your opinion last night, too. Yes.
Better to play!
Take that no second chances event. Ah, Wayrest Sewers. This is gonna be so easy.
From the sides!
Actually, we just do this. Silent Partner. I remember this one. Is that a boss? Consecrate. Let's let everyone just get healed with the heal over times. All right. Why are you not using any magic?
These people are
Because
What are civilians doing down here?
Drugged. I'm guessing kidnapped from the city.
Damn it.
it's interesting how these Wayrest sewers look kind of like Imperial sewers.
Take our friends to find Pellinger.
All right. See if we can get some stamina back. $25 grand. Well, you're a little too close, so. Plunk. Hey, how come I didn't loot anything? Whoops. Bugged out all the loot. Let's see.
Hey, you'll ruin everything! Sir, what's going on?
So if we're not using any resources from the healing side of things, we just spam the group heal when we see people start taking damage. All right, let's take out this boss. Spam the group heal. Open the door. All right. Yeah, just catch up on everything. Might have to regen magic though if we keep blowing the group heal. Combat physician set.
Found that beast.
You ever want to use that? Ha, interesting. It's like you don't even have to. So usually she has 45,000 magic. Now she has 35,000-ish magic. So. Regen. Grab the bow. The problem is there's no AoE during the regen phase. But that's only regen for stamina. It's not regen for any heals. Oh, really? Haha! Consecrate! Haha! Consecrate! Counter the fire damage. Let's see. Wayrest sewers. It's not bad per se, but the damage is garbage. Might want to swing things more in the stamina direction. We'll keep the build, but we'll play around with the other stuff.
Here.
Oh, here we go.
To proceed further,
Consecrate.
Do you hear me?
Consecrate and start crossbowing the thing. Or we can just do this. Save stamina. Or we just save stamina by using the number 4 ability and doing light attacks. Those crit for like 8 grand. So some token damage here and just wait to heal somebody. Zing! Somebody's probably scratching their head using Solar Barrage with a bow.
Take that bow.
Yep. Spam a few group heals there. Shattering skull. Still some pretty powerful heals in the mix. Okay, just give it time to regen after the fight. Oh wait, who's this?
I told you not to.
What? The tank's actually taking damage? What's with the lag on using skills? Medium armor is maxed out. Finally. Ugh. Not good if you don't get any crits. Who's taking damage? All right, let's take out the ghost. I think this works better. The reason why this works better with a two-hander is because of the two-handed boost to weapon and spell damage. So that also helps to make up for the off-spec weapon thing.
Make them understand. Maybe I'll get through this time. Aline! Bahrain! It's
Where
your
is it?
father!
Who's the tank?
I love you! And
Oh, the guy
I
that looks
want
like
to talk
Judge.
to you.
The guy that looks
It's
like
all
Judge
right.
Doom is the tank, and he doesn't even have any tank
These
stuff.
people are here to help you.
Probably a 3 DPS group that actually has food buffs. You can get 23,000 health with a good food buff. Oh, look, the boss. Okay, you want to fight me? Consecrate. No crits, though. Blech. Consecrate. Look, tanking with a crossbow. Who'd have thunk it?
Come on. Don't make me do this myself.
I just keep consecrating. Ow. Quite all right. Zing! So who are we still fighting? Oh yeah, 7%. We gotta kill all these things. Ah! Nice. This is nothing exciting
They didn't deserve
for a dungeon, but it's an easy daily.
any of it.
Silver shards to rank 2, solar barrage increased to rank 2. Good. We want to level those up anyways.
Dead, you bastard! Yayef is dead!
No second
Give me one
chances.
reason why I shouldn't kill you.
Oh yeah, I never did the dungeon quest here, so.
Nothing.
Uh-oh. Finish the
Get out of my
quest,
way.
quick.
I'm going to kill
Thank you for
Pellinger.
group. Yeah, that was
That's
easy.
not enough. We thought Pellinger was in danger. We came down here to rescue him. Every shambling corpse in this place he created. Can't begin to count the
She's lawful good.
died because of his
She's
selfishness.
lawful good, so he gets a
Could've been like
trial.
that, is it?
Sing out.
Be thankful my hand was stayed. You deserve to die down here next to your children.
Now we just get out of
Yayef and I
it.
risked
Get
our
out of here
lives
now.
to come down here.
That sort of works, but it feels contrived.
There's an urgent
I think
task.
mixing tank and healer together actually works better. Skill points. Yeah, I think mixing tank and healer together actually works better. Because in that case, you used to be a super tough healer. Go in and, you know, nothing takes you out. I think it's more worth it to be able to toughen up.
To be honest,
I think it's more worth it to be able to toughen up than to have two sets of resources and you don't use your healing resource most of the time. So it's just a matter of the other stuff. I don't really think this really works. I think even if we could put the points in the right stuff, it would just still be garbage. Because we're talking a 10,000 magic difference here. And all that's going to happen is the damage is just going to get worse and worse the more we try to split things between all the attributes. If we go full stamina,
Your help.
now we have the bonuses that Bretons get from magic that are being left by the wayside. So let's see. You figure, get the general out here. Swap out the general.
People say variety is the spice of life.
So, you're talking... We'll save Zen Archer as is. So you're talking with Cleric. Complete and total emphasis. We're talking complete and total emphasis on magic. Ends up with 16,000 stamina. So that'd be 16,250. Get the calculator out. So if we went completely in the other direction with stamina, we get no boost to it because Bretons don't get that. And so we'd be talking about 16,250 plus 2,000, 18,000 magic on a Breton. Garbage. So hybridization is more a matter of, you know, you can do moderate damage with your secondary resource if you play your cards right. But the hybridization of everything hybrid is still not viable. I don't know if I can really revisit Zen Archer. I don't know if I can really revisit Zen Archer until I get enough points in Warfare to fill out the second side of that tree. Is the only thing we could really do is cut down on the crit in order to get the other side. But I don't think the 100 weapon damage is really going to do as much. The bottom line is the gear you wear swings you one way or the other, and you can only do so much with it. You can toughen up, but even then you lose resource regen and all kinds of other stuff. So it's just the Zen Archer thing. I mean, we knew that from, you know, the double Mundus stones with Twiceborn Star is pretty much rendered obsolete by this thing here. What's the combat physician? Magicka, crit, and throws a damage shield on anything that critical heals once every 6 seconds. Let's decon everything. We could also vendor everything for quick money, but the easiest way to make quick money is to turn off the stream, do some other stuff. I think it'd be better, though, to have the option of toughening up, so if your tank is garbage, be able to set everything up like that. Lock. We will keep that legendary resto staff, though. All right, where's the general here?
Ha! I know that.
Switch off to Zen Archer. Let's actually take out those crit points. Use another 3,000 gold. Take out those other crit points. Two-throw sword. At least the new smart RNG for drops is working. So we're getting stuff at running old dungeons is getting some other stuff here. Ah, well then. Combat physician. We'll get that into the set directories here. Now we could get like 40. The problem is if we get 40,000 stamina is going to require like dropping down to 30,000 magic and having weaker heals. In which case we basically have a ranger on our hands. But I think it's more useful to be able to toughen up. Let's do one last respec of this. Redistribute. We're going to take out some of this critical stuff. So take out some of that RNG. And let's finish this one off. Take out some of the RNG. So we fill out both sides of this, and we get the 100 bonus to both kinds of attacks. Put the rest back here. See what that does. Probably nothing exciting. And you're talking about cutting your damage in half with these things. Now we got 31,727. So that's the thing. That's spell damage, 3578 weapon damage, 2957. You know what I'd really like to do? I'd really like to get a set of Rattle Cage armor. Because Rattle Cage gives you plus 20% weapon and spell damage at all times. Got some of that in the bank. Let's go to the bank and take a look at that.
The Ivory Brigade
It'd be cool we could farm some Rattle Cage, get some heavy armor into the mix. Let's see here.
Looking to lighten your load. Cool.
There it is. Some health, damage, and then 20% weapon and spell damage at all times. Like 300 of each, and a little bit of health. I mean, that's a tank that's going to do some extra damage easily. The thing is, though, for hybriding and everything, we have Hulking Draugr meets Crafty Alfiq. And each one of them is... The only thing here is that we could morph these over to stamina. Let's see, 3,500 spell damage. We could also get above 3,000 weapon damage by doing that. So yeah, it's pretty much contrived at this point. Now we're back to...
Need of you, comrade.
So we got, what, 35,000 health and 35,000 magic with the Battle Priest setup. So the idea, though, of not being caught with that resource, of running out, no, not being caught with that resources, it's just, let's fool around with this a little more. Let's run around here. Oh, we actually have a world boss quest, but I'm sure nobody's doing world bosses in Leowin and the surrounding areas. Toad Tongue War Camp, 1.8 mil. Yeah, forget it. See, I always have more need to toughen up with whatever it is that my characters are doing than to have something like this. As far as stamina healing goes, that's what Moose Thunderbear will be better at. So, let's see. Why is there no mobs? I thought it was Deadlands. It was farmed all the heck. Oh, there we go, a bear. Let me just see if this gets any less dull. 43 to 7640. Alright, since it's a magic ability, let's do a plus magic by doing Mage Guild, swap this in, get rid of that heal. Just like we do on the other character, now up to 36,000 magic. Let's take out some of these green Cliff Racer things. $48. And we shouldn't be celebrating if we're hitting for 5,000 damage. And this is still weaker because we're not getting the bonus for two-handers. The couple hundred spell and weapon damage you can get from a two-hander really helps to make that the kind of martial weapon that you want to use as your offhand.
You'll never have enough.
Matter of fact, this would probably work better if she used the mace that she uses on the cleric build, which is actually great Sword of Twilight's Embrace. This would probably actually work better, but now she's turned into a clone of Richard Goodmain. So, two characters with the exact same type of setup, except she has the ability to, yeah, use a crossbow. It's contrived.
Just tired of walking anyway.
All right, find something to fight.
Nice hole.
Might help if it wasn't at the edge of the zone.
Off we go.
We could always spend 1,500 crowns and get a third build slot for Battle Priest that have all three of these. Just goof around with them from time to time, because I really would like to see if Zenimax ever makes hybrid viable. But I think hybrid is so far behind on damage that there's really not much you can do. There really aren't crossover skills that kind of make up for, you know, using an off resource weapon all that much. My characters do it because they're emphasizing something else.
Nothing wrong with it.
All right, so with this, we now have 3,000 weapon spell damage on both sides here. You know, a Warden would probably have a lot of fun with this, because Wardens have something that boosts weapon and spell damage too, so would Dragon Knights. Yeah, so that's major sorcery, so it's only spell damage. But because the plus... Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, 52, 57. And that crits to, like, what, close to 10 grand? Solar Barrage to rank 3. But where's the archery part of it other than... that doesn't do anything because it's not for weapon damage. We'd have to take the special skill for two-hand. Plus, we don't have any points. We actually don't have any points to get the spell damage boost. So, well, that's one of the beauties of this setup. Two-handed, heavy weapons. Almost 300 additional weapon and spell damage now. 3,500. So now we're at 6,500. And that crits to what? Close to 10 grand? 11 thou. Well, we can't be celebrating crappy damage like this. That's kind of one of the advantages that this game has with this sort of thing. Alright, let's respec then. Respec back to Zen Archer the way he had it 10 minutes ago.
Don't get too comfortable out there.
Wow, you get burst damage every so often. As opposed to...
Don't get too comfortable.
Alright, now for some real numbers. 10 grand non-crit. I mean, why would you put up with that? It takes a while to drain resources out, too, so... Sad. Just sad. Switch it back to Battle Priest. Put the ice staff back on. Put the plus stamina crap in the bank. It's just... Zenimax makes it look like you can do this kind of stuff, but that's just not the case. Zenimax makes it look like they've made hybrid stuff in any way viable. But in reality, what exactly are they trying to do other than, if you get caught with the wrong weapon, it doesn't hit like a wet noodle as much. Doesn't make any sense. Alright. Well, what we'll do is, if we ever want to play with this again, we'll just buy another build slot. So, I don't see hybrid working out at all. Let's go to the Chapel of Zenithar. Even that just hits harder, because the two-handers for everyone bonus. The two-handers have a generic spell damage bonus. Yeah. So we'll keep a staff. We'll keep a staff handy for tanking with, or we can just equip this weapon and whatnot while we're tougher and see how much of a difference it makes numbers-wise. All right, let's sheepishly go respec everything again. Done with this thing once and for all. So,
You there. The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
we know that. So, Twice Born Star, that set needs to be redone. Set bonuses need to be redone. Maybe that's in the cards, but 2 Mundus boons, it doesn't work with the Armory. It's completely obsolete. All right. So for this, we're going to base it on the Cleric build, but with different attributes. So let's just get back to square one.
Know the difference between a tavern?
We'll just respec a few. So we'll just respec a few things. Base it on that Zen Archer. Boof. Maybe with a Dark Elf, but not this. Because Dark Elves get a bonus to stamina, but they'd wind up in the same position. Of course, I have gotten a tank with double Mundus boons up to 35,000 of both resources, but then I've done that with this too. All we have to lose here is... Yeah, the Bretons aren't geared towards hybrid stuff. Build settings. Battle Priest. Where's that icon we used last time? Alright. Equip Cleric. Save over Battle Priest. Set Tank Lauren as default armor. We're missing... That's Twiceborn Star. We can clear that. That is useless. And bunch of error messages because this stuff doesn't exist. Alright. Get rid of that. Just have that. Just wipe that out. You know what? Zen Archer is crap. Our regular reminder that hybrid doesn't work quite the way you'd think it would. Switch off tank. So now she's got the tank stuff there. 31, 1, 39. But all our points are in magic. 26 and 42. I'll do a respec of attributes here. But at least she has an emphasis on magic again. Then over on this side of things, well, she's already taking points in blocking and bracing and all kinds of other stuff here. So this is pretty much what we want. That's what we want to work on. We just want to change out the attributes to have a lot more health. So at least this one will be cheaper because we're not swapping out the skills. Akatosh, crank her health through the roof to make up for being a Breton. Gets her up to like 35 thou. Gets her up to 35 thou. We can go even higher if we swap the enchants on the tank gear specifically to health. So now we're at 35 and 34. So now we're at 35 and 34. We can also swap these to health boosts as well, which would probably take her up to like 36,000 health or something. But as it stands, though, her main damage stat is magic. So on higher level stuff, that might work. Street clothes, put a bunch of stuff in health, da-da-da. It's more important that she be able to toughen up. It's more important that she be able to toughen up than anything else. So there we go. She has a taunt. She has the ability to boost her spell damage. And 31,000, almost a 33,000 on the physical resistance side. Spell, and does she have the defensive resto staff? Yep, she has the defensive resto staff as well for plus armor. Alright, let's go to the bank. Put that stupid resto staff with plus stamina in the bank. Might be something I'd give to a stamina character for when they want to regen magicka or something. Or use resto staff skills or whatever. Or have it boost healing for that sort of thing. But the bow thing is over.
The guild requests your help.
You can spec Bretons for stamina, but you basically have extra off resource. What are you going to do with that? So we're back where we started. With more questions answered, though. Alright. Toughen up and go do some stuff here.
Tragic what the three banners wore.
Tragic what the blah 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 blah. Julianos, what did we use that for? It's not even listed as being in any kind of that's medium armor. That's for medium armor because we can't use. Well, we'll just use crafty Alfiq. Anything that doesn't have the beige dot is not in is not something that is actually going to be worn for anything. It's not any of the sets. So Hulking Draugr is now part of that. We'll save that for Moose Thunderbear. Not Kagranax Hope. Oops. Get that out of there. That's used in a build. So get rid of everything that doesn't have a dot. And then over on this side of things, Julianos gear. Don't even know what I was using that for. Put that in the bank. Night Silence. A bow of Twilight's Embrace. I don't see any real need to use a bow for anything except crowd control. So we just put that back in. Night Silence Resto Staff. No. Alright, what else do we want to put in the bank? Nothing else of note. It'd be nice if we open up the reward coffers for the Deadlands quest. House Hexos Belts. That's what we want to put in the bank. Have Goodmaid learn that.
Axes and armor may earn.
Garbage. Oh yeah, 130 in the bank.
Ah, yes.
So we only lost 20,000 gold out of the deal like I said we would. Right. Experiment, experiment, experiment. Sometimes we get too experimental. So we got 2,000.
An urgent task for you.
So we have 2,000 physical resistance to figure out.
Brigade has need of you.
All right.
The guild requests your help.
What's going on over here? Well, I guess run through all the world bosses. They're always dropping something. But I'd rather just decon stuff. Let's see what we have here. Give me something with Firefox. Let me see something with this stream specifically. So it's a crap kind of thing in Neverwinter Nights, and it's a crap thing here. The idea of using a bow to not have to use your main resource. You give up too much in order to make that doable. That only works with two-handers because of the bonus to spell power that they give you. Aside from that, forget it. Does mean though that, I mean, bows, all that a bow gives you is a bonus to crit. But that really says something about the two-handed thing. The two-handed thing is basically a martial weapon for everybody. Since it boosts your spell power in a way that, in a more across-the-board way, that Destro and Resto staves don't. Let's see, close this out. Alright, so 34,000. We could do plus health enchants and crank that health even higher. But let's just go to here. Where do we have a point that we can spend? Put that there. So after all that,
Swords, axes.
we're back to Cleric and Battle Priest. Right where we started. At least we have all the remaining questions answered. So Dual Mundus, garbage. Never gonna work. Matter of fact, Elder Scrolls Online's developers need to take a very serious look at Twiceborn Star. Because Twiceborn Star is probably one of the most garbage sets in the game right now. You have to wear it literally for everything in order for it to be viable in any way, shape, or form. There is just no way. There is just no way that this works. And, you know, the whole thing with the emphasis on hybridization, what exactly is this supposed to do except give people ineffective options for PvP? The minute you decide, I mean, maybe Dark Elves can get away with it because they get bonuses to magic and stamina. They're not biased towards either one, but I think all that really does, it lets you flip between magic and stamina full stop. So your two builds on a Dark Elf might be one with an emphasis on magic and one with an emphasis on stamina, and you get bonuses to both, whereas you're missing one on a lot of the other races in the game. But no. Zen Archer is garbage. And I'm out of screenshots of it, so I'm not going to bring this up again. This might be something I look into with a Dark Elf to answer the question there, but I really think Dark Elves would be better off with one magic build and one stamina build, and you just flip between them. So, I could theoretically try like Knight or something, where I have a Breton with stamina and a little bit more on the secondary resource because they're all good at magic in some way, shape, or form. But it just... hybridization. Thumbs down. Zenimax needs to explain just what the heck they're trying to do with all this hybridization obsessions they have nowadays. Because if you try and go hybrid, you're guaranteed to end up with little more than an ineffective character. And okay, in niche situations where you don't want to blow out the resource that you're healing your party with, or when you're tanking and you want two sets of block resources, that's where it just doesn't... that's where the only place that it makes any sense whatsoever. But I don't know. This is probably the biggest head scratcher of a design choice, along with the changes to medium armor. Although medium armor boosts throughput as opposed to longevity, or as opposed to regen. This is probably the single biggest head scratcher I've ever seen in MMO game design. Is just, you can't keep things balanced with ideas like this. Something has to give. And in the case of magic and stamina, there are only extremely limited uses for having a lot of both. And I don't think just barreling in there because it looks like the gear lets you do that is the right thing to do. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.